All right, you guys, hey there. So we are taking a look at Blackboard right now. We've got quite a bit going on in here. So this will give you the rundown of how to use it and also like what you can expect from the course going forward, because I do everything in the same way so that nothing is confusing. If you get it now, you're going to get it at the end of term. So when you log into Blackboard, this is the screen that you're going to see, okay? It's going to take you right to the announcements page, which is great because I want you to be able to see the things I communicate to you. Now, just for the record, announcements that I send out will not only appear on this screen, but they'll also appear in your email as well. I always send the same announcement to your email. That way it makes it easier. And I don't send you a lot of stuff. I just really want you to get the most important things, which is why I don't really send that many announcements. I don't want you to get desensitized to the emails that I send you. So make sure if you see something from me, you check it, okay? Now, we do have a homepage. Personally, I've been working here almost 4 years now, and I can't figure out what the homepage is meant to do. It seems to be a little bit odd, in my opinion. So we are going to just leave it, all right? That's what my strongest recommendation to you, okay? So announcements comes next on the list in this menu to the left. So we're already here. We don't have to click it. Cool. Start here is where the nuts and bolts of the course hang out, right? Stuff that you would use throughout term, things like the syllabus or the MLA handbook. These two things, of course, are also linked in this menu to the left to make it nice and easy since you're using them all the time. So is the course calendar, right? Other things like accessibility and privacy statements, this literary periods graphic, things for reference. These are things that you'll want to take a look back to, and those are in Start Here. Okay, now to just kind of go through, right, in terms of stuff like you've already seen the video about the syllabus, so we don't have to go through that. But if you click the syllabus button, it'll just download my instructor policies. You can access it. We're not going to go through that here. But the course calendar, now this will be your best friend. Now you'll notice that there is no like typical Blackboard calendar button. And for that reason is because it honestly is very clunky, and I don't want you guys to rely on that and then lose or miss an assignment or lose information, because you need the stuff in the lessons folder. So if you were to click on the course calendar here, it's going to download a Word doc for you that'll pull up, and you can see what is expected of you for each week, right? It shows the readings, which are due before the class session, so that way we can talk about it, and then shows you the assignments that are due as well. Right, so it's meant to kind of streamline things and give you like a one-stop shop for your assignments. Now, as we move through term, there might be an occasional due date that maybe gets pushed back or something, depending on the needs of the class. But for right now, this should be pretty static at least, and we very well may not need to make any changes. Okay, so just sort of keep that in mind. Okay, so under that is My Grades. If you were to click that, you'll see, the assignments that have already been assigned. These are the things hanging out in that Lesson 1 folder. So if you see it here, it's going to be due coming soon, except for this research paper and literature review. For some reason, I can't get them to like chill out. All right, so just ignore those guys. But you'll also notice I always put due dates in the assignment titles to make it a little bit easier. So if you're someone who likes to use this My Grades to keep track, you can totally do that. Now the lessons folder, that's going to be our bread and butter here, right? Because everything in the lessons folder are the things that we're going to be constantly interacting with. You can see we've got Lesson 1, which we'll look at in just a moment. We do have those extra credit MLA quizzes that I mentioned in my announcement. We have some general information. We will not specifically reference this, but it's going to be good for you to, kind of take a look at it and familiarize yourself with these terms. Your primary source novels for your research project are here. So if you were to click that, you can see a list and you can get to summaries and things like that. See what you want to work with. And some more information about the research project. Now, these last two folders are also linked over here, so that way you have super easy access. If you want to check out a sample or like the assignment requirements for something, just click there, boom. Then you can see, for example, assignment requirements, sample, assignment requirements, sample, right? And these are for like the big assignments for the class. So if you want to know if an assignment is worth a lot of points, this is what you look at, all right? You could also do math and check out the point values and stuff like that. But these are the 3 big research project assignments, and they make a big impact on your grade. So you should be checking into these things. All right, so back in the lessons folder, let's go to lesson 1. All right, so we can see that every week we'll have readings, we'll have videos. Now, some weeks we won't have videos just because you don't need them, okay? But if there's a video here, you want to take a look at it, okay? It's really, really important. And then our assignments for the week are listed. Essentially, it's the course calendar with links, if you want to think about it like that. And you can see then that all the assignments for the week are listed directly underneath, okay? Now, again, we have readings. So, the Journal of the First Voyage of Columbus and Indian Account of the First Arrival of the Dutch at New York Island. Those are our readings for week 2. So before we meet, which of course that time is still TBA at this point, you will read these, and then we will interact with those during our class session. So pretty straightforward. Discussion boards are linked. There's 2 parts to each discussion board, right? We have an initial post where you put your ideas down at first, and then we have 2 responses. Those are responses to your peers, things that others have written in their initial post, right? Pretty basic. Just keep in mind that you need to use evidence in each one of those to help support whatever it is that you're saying. One other quick note for the response posts, you really want to advance something that your partner, like the person that you're responding to, has said, rather than, and I see this often, which is why I bring it up now, rather than just kind of reiterate what you wrote in your initial response and be like, see, this is what I thought, so I think your perspective is interesting, right? Because that doesn't advance anything. It's just repetition. So, this is meant to enhance the conversation and develop it further. And you can see that we have assignments that are built in regarding the overall research project that we're going to be doing in this class. And, those are pretty clearly labeled because they're the things that are not discussion boards or responses to class recordings. So essentially, I wanted to touch on this response to class session recording assignment that we have each week. Just for a second, this is essentially your engagement with the class, right? I want to see that you are, if you're not able to come live and participate that way, I want to hear your voice. I want to see you participating and discussing some of the ideas that we bring up during the class session. All right, so the assignment's not designed to be hard. It's just designed to get you to engage in the type of analysis that we are in our discussion, okay? And you can see that each week looks exactly the same. All right, there are no surprises. And if I ever do throw you a surprise, which I really don't see that happening, you'll actually get an announcement about it. Okay, so, there's nothing here that's going to, trip you out. All right, I promise you that. And so we have lesson 1 open. This is the entirety of it. Very direct, very straightforward. But if you have questions about it, obviously, please let me know. Now, right now, our class session is TBA. Okay, so I just have a random time in there until I get back your class session day/time surveys, and then I will update it and also put the day and time in the title. Now you can see here office hours, virtual office hours are Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 1 to 2 p.m. Use these office hours, okay? That is a really, really big thing. People think, I hear this from students all the time, they're like, well, I don't want to bother you, I don't want to, whatever. You're not bothering me. I have set aside this time. Utilize office hours. Students who use office hours succeed in a far greater way than those who don't. If you have a question, sometimes it's best to talk it out rather than send an email. So just pop in, let's talk it out for 5 minutes, and you're all good, right? So take that opportunity. The MLA handbook is here for your easy access. And then down here are those folders that I was telling you about that are just hanging out in the lessons folder as well. The primary source novels, which you guys should be looking into at this moment, and also the research project requirements and samples for kind of a broader, or no, not broader, but more narrow context on what we're doing for the research project. If you ever, needed to come talk to me or, get in contact with me in any way, my information is in About the Instructor, right? So you have my name there, in case you forget. You've got my office number, my office phone number, and my office hours, right? Tuesday and Wednesday from 7 to 8 a.m. in person, and Tuesday and Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. in this very convenient virtual link over here. Another piece of information, I respond to email within 24 hours on weekdays. It'll, basically never be more than that. Usually much, much faster. But I just wanted to kind of put that out there. So that way you have that. Now, if you need to send email to me or anyone else in the course, you can use that. You can do that here. And then this surveys button, I think you can access our class day/time survey through here, but also at the end of term when we do our course evaluations, that should be available in this surveys tab as well. And then if you ever have any issues with Blackboard, this delightful help button will help you get to the help desk. You can give them a call. You can go visit them on campus, although room 407 in the Lawrenceville campus is not open at this moment, so I'm not sure who they're trying to fool, right? So your best bet would be to give them a call or to fill out a help desk request form or send them an email. I know they're super responsive, so okay, so that is our Blackboard course in a nutshell. As I said, your primary focus for the course should be this course calendar here. Make sure you're staying on track, and the lessons folder here for the readings and assignments, and then we have our class session and office hours down here. All right, so if you have any questions about that, please let me know. Otherwise, have a good one, and I will see you next time.